both Zoom and Instagram. Just a reminder that our morning classes require a kettlebell or a dumbbell. I'm going to give you an option with how many reps you're going to do today, and I'll tell you why in just a second. All right, so we're going to have a bit of a warm up, and then I'm going to talk you through what we're going to do today. We've only got 3 exercises in the session today, but it's going to hit total body, but it's got the potential to be quite high reps in each set. Morning, Al. Good to see you, mate. I'd imagine that you're going to be off to the factory pretty soon, so you're not going to be joining in with us this morning. So we're going to start with a warm up. So we're just going to be on the feet. We're just going to explore a bit of movement today. I'll do a bit on our feet before we do some activation for the muscles that we're going to use today. So all I'm going to do to start with today is just a squat width position, but we're just going to start with a rotation side to side, keeping your feet planted and just focusing on your torso turning to start. Get 5 each way, and then start to bring your hips into play. Start to widen that arm position so that your arms are a bit further away from your body. Get 5 each way, and then we're going to come into almost a straight arm swing. And you notice now that I'm really letting everything go, almost like a bit of a golf swing, really, but moving my arms horizontally. So we're just allowing the hips and the torso and everything to just move, and I'm letting the weight of my arms take me right round. Get 5 each way. As we've got 5 each way, we're just going to start moving my hands one high, one low, and opening through that chest. So I want to see the chest open, and you almost bring your hands back together in a clap and moving diagonally. One low around hip height, one way above the shoulder. Get 10 on one side. Make sure you're not around the light fitting. Get 5, get 10, one way, 10 the other, opening the chest. Feeling that chest, particularly on the high side, really opening. Get 10 here. And then we're just going to move into some swings. If you've got the back of a sofa or a wall or a chair, and all we're going to do is slowly swing that leg through. You can do it freestanding. You might just not be able to be as vigorous, and if you've got great balance, you've got 10 swings on one side, and then 10 swings on the other. Focusing on the kick through, you get a bit of length into the hamstring. Very nice. If you finish your 10, take a really wide stance, okay? Toes pointing forward, and we're just going to start moving side to side. And over the course of 10 reps in total, so 5 each way, we're just going to move a little bit further each time. So opening out that groin on the straight leg. Once you finish 10 to each side, stay in that, 5 to each side. Come back to the center. And now we're going to reach for the opposite arm down towards the foot, almost outside the foot, if you can. So again, I'm getting that rotation. I might feel this up a bit more to the lower back. I'm not really worried about my torso position. I'm maintaining a good spine position. I'm just letting that rotation do the work. Get 5 each way. Come back to the center. Onto your feet. Okay. Into some inchworms now, so we're going to start to get a bit of extra hamstring length, but also start to load the upper body. So with an inchworm, feet hip width apart, reach down and get your hands to the floor with as much knee bend as you need, okay? And then from that position, we're going to walk out into the top of the press up. Then we're going to walk our feet in towards our hands, feel the hamstrings low, keeping the arms straight all the time, and walk back out. Get 5 more. 4 more, sorry. Can't count this morning. Good. Keep that going. You keep your legs straight and your hands flat to the floor. Getting your feet as close to your hands as possible. Open out the hamstring to the lower back. Once you've done your 5, you can stay in that press up position now. Okay? Stay on the top of that press up position. While at the top of that press up position, you're just going to tap the opposite shoulder with your hand. Okay? Get 10 in total, nice and slow and control. You want to make it look like you're not swaying side to side as we tap. Maintaining the body position. Excellent. Drop down to the knees and come up nice and slowly back onto your feet. Almost done with the warm-up, guys, okay? So we're just going to run through a few squats. You're doing a lot of squats today, but we're going to run through some squats to warm up. So find your squat position. Feet are around about shoulder width apart. And what I mean by shoulder width is inside of the shoulder, level with outside of the shoulder, level with the inside of the foot. You can keep your toes straight if you really want to. But to get the depth in the squat, you're probably going to want to turn them out a little tiny bit to maybe 11 and 1. You can't even go as wide as 10 and 2, but that's absolutely your call. Okay, and we're just going to drop down to about a 90-degree position in that squat to begin with. So just a 90-degree position in the squat. Just hold, 2, 3, take it down until the hips reach level with knee height, and hold 2, 3, and if that's all you've got depth-wise, that's fine. You can get any further, sit right down into the bottom of your squat. Don't be too worried about what happens to the lower back. You want the hips and shoulders to just open there, okay? Good. And then nice and slowly come out of that squat. Good stuff. All right. Good. We're going to run through that again. So holding good lower back position as long as we can, okay? Assume your squat position. From here, drop down to around about 90 degrees through the knee. Okay, so that 90-degree position is actually quite high. From that position, drop down until your hips reach about knee level. So now your thighs parallel to the floor. And then see how much more depth you've got in that squat. If you can maintain a good lower back position, great. If you can't, don't worry about what's happened at the bottom. Slowly come back up to where you can hit that good lower back position and then stand out of the squat. Okay, good. I want you to become aware of that position and where you start to lose that shape, because that's going to be the bottom of your squat, okay? You don't, when we've got a load sitting directly over the spine in some manner, we don't really want the pelvis to tuck underneath the body, okay? We want structurally for the spine to do its thing and to control and be able to deal with that load, okay? We want a good, strong, the spine working as one unit and not the bottom of it to tuck under. All right, good. So the bottom of your squat today is going to be governed by where you can feel that tuck start to happen. Don't go there, okay? And the reason I say that is because we're doing partial squats today. Well, variations of partial. So we are going to do a certain number of half squats. Okay, which means that we're going to hold the dumbbell or the kettlebell here, and we're going to work to that 90-degree position to start with for a certain number of reps. We're then going to work from the 90 position to the bottom of your squat, wherever that is, and back to the 90 for a certain number of reps. Then we'll come all the way to the top, and we'll do a certain number of full reps. Okay, now I said certain number, because you're either going to go with 3 in each position, 4 in each position, or 5 in each position, depending on how you can deal with the weight. So you're either doing 9, 12, or 15 repetitions, okay, in terms of the total set. You get to pick and choose. However, whatever number you pick, you can't come down. So if you start with 5, you've got to do it to all the sets, okay? If you start with 9, because you're being conservative and you're not quite sure how it's going to go, you can go up if it's too easy. All right. If you go from 9 in the first set to 15 in the second set, you can't come down to 12 after that. So bear that in mind. All right. Good. Hope that makes sense. And we're going to do something similar for an upper body, well, for 2 upper body exercises as well today, and that's going to be our lot. All right. We're going to start in 20 seconds. So grab your squat weight. You notice I've got 2 kettlebells for today. And I actually need 3. No. Okay, we got 10 seconds before we start our squat. So I'm going to get my squat position. I'm going to bring that weight up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to start with my half squats. Keeping my feet flat to the floor, focusing on my posture all the time. On my 5th rep, I'm going to go from that half position all the way down to the bottom of my squat. Remember, the bottom of the squat is dictated by your lower back position. Then I come all the way to the top, and then I just hit 5 full reps. And then when you finish, I lower the weight to the floor. Nicely done. We're going every 90 seconds, which means I've got 45 seconds of rest. So remember, you need to have postural, good postural integrity, good tension through the upper body all the time, so we don't let the weight pull us out of position. 20 seconds. $15. So from this front on view, you shouldn't really see much change apart from the depth of my squat. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. So I get my half squats. And 4, and 5, and then I go down from that position to the bottom. And so I'm not bouncing in this bottom half of the movement, okay? I'm focusing on pushing the floor away all the time. And then I stand. And then from here, I get 4 reps. And again, I'm not bouncing at any point. And then once I finish, I rest. So I've got tension in the system all the time. I'm not bouncing, I'm not using momentum at any point. That keeps things nice and safe. It keeps things effective. It means I'm loading the structure of my legs and my hips effectively. 30 seconds before we start set 3. Remember, guys, if you started down low, you can come up, or if you're at 15 and the weight is comfortable, you can always go up a weight if you've got extra weight there. If you haven't got any extra weight and 15 is really comfortable, what you look in, you've got 10 seconds, you look in, then it's just to slow things down. Okay? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, weight up, away we go. So I'm not really worried about my knees going in front of my toes. I just want to keep my feet flat to the floor all the time. Down to my bottom half. Not letting my pelvis get tucked under. Keeping control of this movement all the time. 5 full reps. You'll notice that my tempo is a nice steady down for 2, up for 2. That means I'm getting tension all the way through. Very nice. Good stuff. 3 down. A lot of people put an emphasis on the lowering phase Okay, which is important because we can control into position, but we can lose that emphasis on the way out by moving too quickly. Okay, there is a time where we want to move quickly. What we're doing today, we want to maintain a steady movement through the upward face. 5 seconds. Step number 4 coming up. 3, 2, 1. Away we go. So focusing on staying balanced. Really focusing on where I want to feel it. Through my quads, really squeezing my glutes. Trying to link that mind-muscle connection. Keeping the core pulled in nice and tight as well. Chest up and high throughout. Making sure the knees go where my toes are going. And then when we're finished, lower down. Good stuff. Two more sets. What's that, 6 sets? Yes, 6 sets this morning. 20 seconds. I want to give your legs something to remember me by all weekend. 10 seconds. Ready for set number 5. 3, 2, 1. Bring that weight up. So making sure in that side on position. That way, getting the depth that we need in the half rep. Pushing the floor away. And then we get our bottom half. Making sure that the low back doesn't crumble at the bottom. I'm not bouncing out the hole. And then our full reps. Posture stays the same throughout. So the positions look the same, whether I'm a half rep, top or bottom, or whether it's a full rep. Outstanding. One more set. And we go in 30 seconds. So as a bit fatiguing, don't let the weight dictate the speed of the movement. All right. 15 seconds away. And here we go in 5, 4, 3, squat position, and away we go. Half reps. Remember just the 90, and then we go all the way to the bottom and up to 90. Up to the top, and then your full reps. Nice and controlled. Staying balanced throughout. Good, no bouncing at the bottom of the squat. And we're done. Excellent stuff. Loads of rest time. Okay. Well, we're going to do something similar now, but with a row. Okay. So we're going to bend over row. And the bent over row will be with one leg forward. So very much like a bit of a split squat, but not a full length split squat. Okay. So I'm going to take 1 foot back. The weight's going to sit in the side opposite to the front leg. Then I'm just going to rock over. I'm going to have my front leg supporting that weight. Okay. I'll keep my back nice and flat. You don't need to be completely parallel to the floor. I want to go about a 45-degree angle to the floor. We're going to start with a half break. So I'm going to pull until my arm reaches the same angle as my torso, and down. 5 reps here, then 5 reps from that half point until that hand comes into the rib. Back to here, 5 reps, or 4 reps, or 3 reps, and then 5 full range. All right? You don't need to focus on the tempo quite as much with the upper body work because the volume is really going to hit home quite early on. What we don't want though is any loss of lower back shape, any loss of that postural integrity, and we don't want to be throwing the weight around through the movement, all right? Okay, how long have we got? We've got a minute to go. The rest up, your legs are going to feel it through here as well, okay? So you're going to power through 15 on one side, then power straight through 15 on the other side. Or 12 or 9. All right, remembering that you can go up, but you can't go down. 30 seconds, well, just under 30, 25 seconds. 15 seconds. So remembering my split position, the weight's going to be opposite that front foot, torso about 45 degrees, making sure I've got a weight over the front leg, so that front hip and glute and quad are helping support the body. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. I start with the bottom half rep where the elbow just comes in level with the body. Focus on the squeeze in my back from there, up to the top, elbow to the ceiling, from the side of the body to the top. 1. And then our 5 full reps. Letting the torso move a little bit. So you'll notice that at the bottom, my shoulder blade gets pulled. My shoulder gets pulled towards the floor. Once I finish my 5 reps, you just switch sides. Exactly the same thing on this side now. Elbow into that bottom half rep. Squeezing the shoulder blade in, letting the shoulder blade go, squeeze it in. And then elbow to the ceiling, hand to the rib cage. And then full reps. And rest. Beautiful. We're going every 2 minutes, so we've got time. Remember, all this work wants to come up around back of the shoulder and through the shoulder blade. We don't want to let the elbow flare out while we're squeezing it in close to make our lat and the muscles around the shoulder blade do the work that we want to, okay? 30 seconds to go before we start round 2. So just remember that postural integrity. We got some nice landmark movements where we bring elbow into level here, and then on the second reps, we bring our hand to ribs, elbow back. Again, then we do 4 reps. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Still letting my shoulder go at the bottom. I'm just on my right, and then squeeze through that top half. Not letting the elbow fall in front of the body, keeping the very top half of the rep, squeezing my shoulder blade really tight in towards my spine. Don't let the lower back change shape. As you get your reps in, same on the other side. You don't have to change direction. I'm changing direction so you can see what's going on. Lower back stays nice and flat. So that top half of the movement is really quite small. And then 4 reps. Excellent. Really want the area around the inside of the shoulder blade to really feel like it's firing up. Good. Taking your time, making sure that your legs are getting a bit of the rest that they need because they're working quite hard in that to hold us still. Okay, 30 seconds to go. Remember to try and breathe throughout, okay? With this high repetition, the load isn't that significant, which means that I should still be able to breathe through the reps, okay? 15 seconds to go. We do set 3. Good news, only 5 sets of the upper body stuff. 3, 2, 1. Into position. Load off the floor. Elbow into the rib cage. That's as far as I go. Let my shoulder blade move away from my body and into my body. And then it's just about squeezing it in even tighter from here and up. Don't let the elbow drop, okay? On those top half reps. Starting to feel it now. Remember, we don't want to be feeling it through the lower back, okay? So I want that supporting front leg to do a lot of the work. To do all of the work. So I'm not sitting back here and rounding through my lower back. Weight forward over the front leg, pushing hips backwards. Good, working through the reps nice and methodically. And again, very much like in those squats, trying to think about what I want the muscle to do in that contraction. 3 sets down, 2 to go. And about 35 seconds before we go on set 4. Twenty seconds. Yeah, my legs are definitely feeling the squats now in that position. So we want that front leg to take all of the load, all right? Less than 10 seconds left. I'm going to assume my position. Get the weight where I want it. 3, 2, 1. Away we go. So starting with those bottom half reps. From that straight arm with the shoulder slightly rounded, but my back flat, elbow to rib. Notice that my body shape doesn't change. And then rib, elbow into the rib cage to way behind the body. Elbow to ceiling, hand in tight to the ribs. Lovely. Change sides. So look at this front on, so you can see it from that front on position. And you'll notice that my shoulder rounds towards the floor. I'm keeping my lower back flat. All right. And then my elbow stays tight. Rinse over that front leg. Then on the floor reps, I'm combining those first two, moving through the same markers. Like that, 1 more set to go. Your legs are really feeling it. You can sit down between sets, catch your breath. One more set to go. Shoulders are really going to feel it, guys, on the next exercise. 30 seconds. Woo. 15 seconds to go. Okay. One more set. Don't let the technique fall away, even though we're tired. If you bit off more than you can chew at the start, but give yourself the blame. Here we go. Away we go. Last set. hit those markers, elbow to side of the ribs, elbow to ceiling. You need to stop and break a little bit before you do the full, or in between each one, you can. Remember, we don't need to be all the way over to the floor, the weight doesn't need to touch the floor, so bring it away. Nice. Last little bit then. Elbow to ribs, so nowhere near as high as you think. All right, if you need to take a breather between the first half reps and the second half reps, you can. Don't let the elbow drop past that mark point. Keep the tension through the back. And again, you need to stop with a quick shake out through your hands. If your grip is going, that's okay. So you finish your reps. We are done. The rows are over. Good stuff. Okay. We're going to give the lower body a bit of a break now. And we're going to do a half kneeling press. However, we're going to challenge the core a little bit. Normally, with a half kneeling press, we'd be in a half kneeling position. And the weight would be the same side as the back leg. Okay, to allow us to use that front leg for stability. What we're going to do today is we're going to press with the weight on the same side as the front leg. And then we'll switch legs and switch arms. All right? And the movement, whether you're working with a dumbbell or a kettlebell, is going to be the same today. Okay? So what we're going to do is start with the weight in our front rack. Now for a dumbbell today, that's going to be on the wrong side, same arm as the front leg. For a dumbbell, your palm is going to start facing you and you're going to turn out into that press. Okay, and the first part of the press, you can get our shoulder just above, our elbow just above our shoulder, and back in, and up, and in. Same for the kettlebell. From here, elbow just above shoulder, and back down. Okay, the second is from there to the top. Don't let the elbow come lower than the shoulder in that top half rep, and then we go full. 3, 4, 5 in each position. All right. To be able to do a full 5 like I've done previously, I'm going to need a lighter kettlebell. If you've got lighter kettlebells and this is a weak exercise, then you can definitely do that. If you've gone with 5 in the previous and you've only got the one weight to work with, you might want to start down at 3, 3, 3 and see how we go, all right? Starting in 10 seconds, guys. We come down to my half kneeling position, and the weight's going to be on the same side. 3, that's the front leg. 2, 1, away we go. So we turn, elbow just above shoulder height. Putting that palm into the body if you're working with dumbbell. Done fine. That's your head. And you'll notice, because I don't have the support on the opposite side of my lower body, of course, I'm going to do way more work and then 5 full reps, or 4 full reps, or 3 full reps, whatever you're at. As soon as you finish on one side, guys, bring the weight down safely, change your stance, change your grip, and remember the bottom half of the rep is from our start position to our elbow just above shoulder height. You're working with a dumbbell, it's like an arm press, where you start with the palm facing towards you. And then we press from that, elbow just above shoulder height, pressing my bicep in towards my ear, and then we go forward. Nice and controlled all the time, keeping my rib cage in tight, using the glute of that kneeling leg to control my torso and what's happening through my body, all right? Good stuff, done. That's done. Okay, we're going every 2 minutes. So we go again in 30 seconds. I'll show you this next set side on, okay? A couple of things we need to be aware of. half kneeling, front knee over ankle, back knee underneath the hip. Okay, 15 seconds to go. Making sure this back leg, I'm squeezing the glute so I can control what's going on with my lower body, and then I keep my abs holding tight as well. Here we go. So bottom reps to start in 3, 2, 1. Starting with the palm facing towards you if you're on a dumbbell. Rotate out and elbow just above shoulder height. Thinking about which muscles I want to be contracting. You notice that I'm not letting my torso position change. And then the top half of the rep is from that elbow above shoulder position all the way to the top of the movement, punching the weight high. And in this position again, I'm not letting my hips move forward, I'm not letting my rib cage open. And then full 5 reps. Controlling torso position. And then I change sides. Making sure again I get a good setup. That weight, sit down. Yeah. Starting with elbow just going above shoulder height. Trying to kill the momentum if I can. Not letting the elbow come too low on the way down on the top half of the rep. And then full. Start getting burn now, even with a lighter weight. Remember, you're doing 3 in each position, 4 in each position, or 5 in each position. You can go up if you want to. So if you started on 3s on those first 2 sets and you want to try 4, you can. Just bear in mind, I'm not letting you go back down. I can't see whether you go back down, but that's what I told you to do. Or not do, as the case may be. 10 seconds. Well, set number 3 and 5. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Weight up. Good tight core. Press into that position. Remember with the dumbbell, you're starting with the palm facing towards you. Turn it out, and then that little half press. Once you finish your 5, pressing up overhead. What we don't want to see, guys, here is this lateral movement of the body, okay? I'm pressing the hand up, keeping the core tight, and then you get my 5 reps. Thinking about pressing that bicep in towards your ear and having everything stacked. Once you finish that one side, slowly lower the weight down. Change your stance. Change your hand. Oh, don't press too high on that first half rep. I want to keep tension through my shoulder joint all the time. I'm thinking, really concentrating on squeezing as much of a contraction out of that shoulder as I can. Once you finish, slowly lower the weight to the ground. Nice, 2 to go. 2 sets left. Good quality movement, right? And that mind-muscle connection is really important at higher repetitions. 30 seconds. Get down into position. We've got just over 10 seconds to go. So remembering that I want ankle underneath, knee under hip. 3, 2, 1. Away I go. Core nice and tight. Elbow rotates out and just above shoulder height. From there, press from that half position to the top. If you need to at that point, take a little breather. You can do, just wait back up into position. Full range. Remember on the dumbbell, you're bringing the weight down so that the palm is facing back towards you. The dumbbell is actually sitting in front of you. Okay, change sides when you finish, and then same sequence. So that bottom half rep, everything's nice and smooth and controlled. My posture still nice and tight. Elbow doesn't drop lower than shoulder height. Doesn't even get to shoulder height. And then our 4 reps. Remembering that you can take a little breather. If you need to, if the shoulders are really burning, you can cluster each of the movements. Making sure I come all the way down into that front rack position. Finish. Guys, we've got one more set to go. One more set to go. Lots of reps today. Less than 30 seconds now for one more set. 20 seconds. So don't make this set any quicker than the previous sets. And making sure we're not bouncing every time we get to the bottom, okay? We want to take that elasticity out and work on the muscle contraction. Into position, here we go. 3, 2, 1. So what I mean by that is, when I reach this bottom point, I don't want to bounce. Stop, press, stop, press. And same again, and stop, press. So rather than up and bounce. And then same concept when you do a full press. Shake the arm out and rest a little, 5 seconds or so if you need to. And then show me that stop, press. Good. And then we switch sides for the final time. No, I worked this morning. Stop, press. Elbow goes just tighter than the shoulder, guys. Good. And then lock out. Stop, lock out. Brakes on, press. Core nice and tight, so I'm not leaning over in that press. Rest and shake out just for a few seconds if you need to. Here we go, finishing strong. That little half-second pause at the bottom to take the momentum out of the rep. And then lower to the floor, and we are done. Well played. Nice stuff, guys. Well done. Put us up on the feet. Swing those arms very much like we did at the start, okay? Starting with a nice, easy rotation, arms relaxed. And as you go through the repetitions, just start to build some amplitude, start to let the hips swing and rotate. And then when you're ready, full swing, letting the trail leg almost follow where you're going. Let the tension out of the upper body. Let the lead arm really swing around so you're getting a bit of a dynamic chest stretch. Good. And then nice and slowly come to a halt. And the same now with those high-low flaps. Just get the time, big chest opens here. Letting the body know we spend a lot of time in this closed position as we're pressing. We just want to open, really think about getting the shoulders apart. As I do that, not worrying about what's going on to my torso, just let everything go. Get 10, right arm high, left arm low, and 10 the other way. You don't have to plan, all right, but let the body open. We're going to spend a lot of time sitting down today in front of the screen. There we go. Guys, after our morning session done, be interested to see how the body feels tomorrow or maybe even Saturday. Lots of repetitions there. Obviously, you know, if you did 5 reps on everything, that was 90 squats we did this morning. All right, with lots of tension. and then 75 rows of 75 presses on each arm. That's a lot of volume, right? So nicely done this morning. Real tough challenge, a little different to things we've done over the past couple of weeks with lower repetition work on the flows, but the variety is good, and we get some huge benefits from varying those repetition ranges as well as the psychological benefits. Nicely done this morning. We've got our normal schedule the rest of the day. Any health and fitness, lifestyle related questions, stick them in the story, please, and we'll chat about them at lunchtime. All right, see you then. Cheers.